Hello, and welcome to another episode of Project Bidoof. This is the series where I make 24 competitively viable Pokemon with a 6 IV male Bidoof. We are working on the Water 1 Egg Group Pokemon, and today we are going to do a Battle Ready Pelipper. My one knows Hydro Pump. I'm going to change that to Scold. It knows Hurricane. It knows Ice Beam. This could also be Tailwind if you want to have Tailwind instead, and Roost or Protect, depending on your format, so keep that in mind too. For the EVs, I have gone fully physically defensive, but don't let that be the only moveset that you can choose. But don't let that be the only option. You could go HP and special attack. You could also be special attack and speed. So don't let me dictate how you set up your Pelipper or any of these Pokemon. These are more like cookie cutters or examples or cooking recipes, and you throw in your own ingredients and you do it the way that you want. We are using Drizzle. It is a regular ability for Wingull and Pelipper, whereas Politoed's Drizzle is a hidden ability. So you definitely have some nuance when you're choosing for your Rain team who you want to have as your Drizzle user. There's definitely pros and cons to both. Most of the time I want to pick Politoed. However, I think Pelipper just has some more going for it on the offensive side. It also has a ground type immunity, which in doubles I think is really important. With that said, in terms of items, just like Politoed, you're typically going to be running a Damp Rock as you can increase the duration of the rain. However, this isn't completely necessary. You could run a Focus Sash. That's a Focus Band. He's done it again. You could use a Wakan Berry because of the 4 times electric type weakness. However, we're just going to stick to the Damp Rock for the sake of this example. When it comes to movesets, Pelipper is a rain setter, as we've already discussed. It knows Hurricane, it knows Hydro Pump or Scold, it can learn Tailwind or Ice Beam in this case, and Protect or U-turn or Roost as our example, as it could be useful in either singles or doubles with that flexibility on the 4th move spot. For those of you who don't know, Hurricane has a 100% accuracy during the rain. In fact, it doesn't have an accuracy, it actually bypasses any checks. Let's say you're in the battle tower and a Clefable has used double team 5 times and it's really annoying and you just can't hit anything. If you used a Hurricane or a Thunder while it's raining, those moves will hit. So just keep that in mind for you guys who are grinding the battle tower. It's a very fun and useful interaction for those of you who are trying to get your 50 or your 100 streak. A few of us have been there and we feel your pain, so keep this in mind as something to consider as a strategy for your battle tower endeavors. Let's go over and look at the moves on Serebii. We get our Wingull and it evolves at level 25. That's very simple. We can Move Reminder Protect. Soak is also kind of useful as a niche 4th move. It's actually pretty niche but very surprising. What Soak does is it turns the target to a water type. This can be very useful in the case of Pokemon that have an electric type immunity, such as ground types. You can turn them to a water type and then they can get hit by a Thunder during the rain and it's super effective, doesn't miss. It's a very good combo. It might surprise people, something to consider. What else are we looking for? We're looking for Hurricane, which is at level 55. It's a 110 damage special attack flying move, very strong, and it's also same type attack bonus as Pelipper is a flying type. Roost is at level 48. We can teach Hydro Pump at level 62, or we can teach Scold via a TM. And speaking of TMs, we have Ice Beam here, we have Protect, we have Rain Dance I discussed in the Politoed video. You could keep Rain Dance as a 4th move as a way to reobtain the weather should your opponent try to switch the weather or try and get any sort of advantage from switching the weather. We have Roost, which can be taught by TM. Again, I don't think it's as important because you can get this via level up. Scold can be taught by TM, and we also have U-turn and Defog. Defog could be useful in a pinch as well. One thing I didn't mention is Tailwind. Tailwind is taught by Move Reminder. It's a very useful move, particularly in doubles. It lasts for 4 turns and it speeds up the Pokemon on your side of the field, which can be very important, especially when you're trying to win those speed ties and those speed wars. Something to consider. For the egg moves, let's have a look. Knockoff could be useful. Soak, Wide Guard. These are very decent 4th move for their utility. Knockoff, of course, knocking off their item. Soak can change their typing to water type. Wide Guard can prevent moves such as Rock Slide or Earthquake or Discharge, and I think that's it for the egg moves. The breeding process for our Wingull in particular is very simple since it learns all of its moves through the TMs and leveling up. All we need to do is get a female Wingull. In this case, it has pretty decent stats. Ideally, when we are hatching our Wingulls, you want it to have Hydration, as when you evolve into a Pelipper, Hydration will become Drizzle, which is the ability that we've chosen to use. Of course, you're going to breed this with a male Bidoof. We have our 6 IV Bidoof here. I don't think it will take you very long to get a 5 IV without attack Pelipper, well, a Wingull, and then you will, of course, train this up. You will EV train it. The finished Pelipper will be level 55 5. Mine is a modest nature. I decided to EV train it in special attack and speed rather than the physically defensive version, just to have a bit more offensive pressure on the rain teams. Our moveset is Ice Beam, Scald, Hurricane, and Roost, and that is everything for our Battle Ready Pelipper. Very simple, very easy, and sometimes you do need a few easy ones along the way just to give you something to not use your brain on. Trust me, if every single one of your breeding processes was super complicated, you're probably doing something wrong, at least in my opinion. But that will be it for today's video. That is our Battle Ready Pelipper, all finished, all done. So now you have 2 Drizzle users to choose from. For those of you who are interested in making a rain team for whatever reason, I think it's really strong for the Battle Tower in particular. Thank you everyone for watching. If you want to support me, then check out the rest of the videos in this series. Check out my Twitter where I do a giveaway for each of the Pokemon in this series. All you have to do is check out the pinned tweet, follow me on Twitter, and retweet any of the giveaway tweets for Pokemon that you're interested in, and you will enter the giveaway, and I will raffle away all of the Pokemon on the 24th of July when we conclude this series. You can join us on Discord. We have a pretty bustling community these days. A bunch of people have picked the game up again. We're always open to making new friends, helping people out, trading, discussing things, you know, that sort of thing. If you really like my content, then please consider supporting me on Patreon. Every single buck goes a long way in these dire times. It's not that bad, but yeah, you get the point. Dude's gotta eat. With that said, I shall see you tomorrow with even more Project Bidoof at 6 PM BST every single day of July.